Welcome to The Watching Dead, the officially unofficial podcast for The Walking Dead on AMC. I'm Jim.
I'm Aaron.
And today we're talking about Season 9, Episode 6, titled, Who Are You Now? I think that's how it's said. Aaron, before we get into the episode this week, and before I ask your thoughts on it, we have to address the elephants in the room.
Yeah.
Al and Joe.
Who were those guys now?
I thought we knew.
Yeah. The microphone here on Bald Move and Watching Dead especially is sacred. And we handed it over to what we thought were good hands. And, obviously there's a mix up. If you didn't catch on, they somehow got watching an episode. I think it's the first episode of season 4 of Norman Reedus's Ride, also on The Walking Dead.
Mm-hmm. And it just happened to have a few Walking Dead characters, and
I'm not gonna say it's an easy mistake to make. You got to be a damn fool to make that kind of mistake. But Al and Joe, they meant well, and we hustled up. This is a make good episode. When we blow one of our advertisers, we get $10,000. No, actually, when we mess up one of our advertising slots, we have to do it make good. You have to do it all over again, because that's what you do as your stand-up people. And here's our make good episode to cover the ride debacle.
Yeah, so. I feel like we should have made Al and Joe do the makeup episode, but I think Al and Joe they might not have a place here on the Bald Move Network. In the future.
It's all well and good to ask your 6-year-old to clean up the kitchen, but if they fuck it up and it's 15 minutes before company gets there, sometimes you just gotta roll up your sleeves and do it yourself. And that's the case of this instance. So apologies. Mm-hmm. If you want to go back and try to decode the ravings of Mad Men, check out episode 401 of Ride. Otherwise, hey, we're here. Who are we now? What are we now?
Yeah, who are we now? So let's talk about this episode. What'd you think of it overall?
I really like this episode. I'm actually starting to feel really good about Jude. I think she's. I was worried that she would be annoying, but she seems like a real proper badass, and she's got just the right amount of sass. I really liked her interaction with the governor, which is probably a tricky thing to hit to get just right. And I even like the new people that I was set to not like before we went on a little vacation. I don't know, like a lot of them kind of grew on me too. I still didn't think that they'd made the greatest showing in open field zombie fighting.
Sure.
But they're not terrible. No. So, and again, like, man, you get to see watermills and windmills and some more post-apocalyptic MacGyvering, which I'm all about. Carol and Ezekiel are really cute. What'd you think, man?
There's some stuff I like about this episode, but there's always a problem for me when they start writing kids in television shows, because more often than not, they don't write kids as kids. They write kids as adults, and particularly like incisive, empathetic, overly convincing adults. And Judith is no exception. I felt like every line of dialogue that came out of her mouth was, written on a page, because it was by someone who was 40 years older than her. Like, it never feels quite right unless they're trying to write a kid as a kid. And so, it's a minor thing. Like, I ultimately don't care that much, but it does take me out of it. I did like the new people. I think for the most part, they did a good job with that.
I on the whole, I'm very pleased with the way this episode's going, and I'm actually really intrigued with what they're going to do with the governor. I'm not the governor. God damn it. What are they going to do with Negan? Yeah,
we'll see. He's just going to be the tutor of the community.
The Juder tutor.
Yep. All right, let's get started with the recap. Michonne has a voiceover while we kind of catch up over the last, 7 years, 8 years?
It's like, how old do you think Judith is now? I'm pegging her more of like 8 to 10.
Yeah.
And she was probably 3 or 4 when we jumped forward, so we got like a 4 or 5 year time jump. Maybe
she was. Damn.
maybe she was I don't know. It's really hard to tell. It's like kids from 2 to 4, like 2 to 4, 4 to 7, 8 to 10. Once they hit 13, they start like shaving and shit, and it gets easier to tell.
Yeah, Judith's gonna start shaving real soon.
Yeah, she is. Her legs, armpits, come on, she's gonna go
in
full
the
natural.
Apocalypse. Who's shaving in the apocalypse?
You know what? It seems like all the ladies are still keeping it up, but I don't know
why.
Yeah,
it just seems like an added burden. Like they're so worried about optimizing everything else. They're not gonna be like, maybe we should stop. The whole artifice of society, of modern society.
Yeah, like the blacksmith works 60 hours a week, and 59 of them are fashioning razor blades for.
Right, I bet he's great at it.
Everyone that wants to, everyone who wants one can get one sharpened.
So there's the voiceover. Daryl's gone back to nature. He's sleeping and fishing and killing zombies in the woods.
Which you got to give Al and Joe credit where it's due. It's not like they were way off base with the idea that Daryl would just go off and find himself or something. Like do you have any idea like what the feel like? Is this a situation where like, how Carol was left at her little Carol cabin to kind of recuperate? Is this something where he's got like a base of operations? She knows where to find him if she needs him. And she's like, it's fucking time for you to stop all this and come back. Or was this a serendipitous meeting?
I thought it was serendipitous, but
did he actually go to Talladega Raceway and lead an apocalyptic death race?
That's what I'm wondering. Like if Daryl, goes off the reservation and then maybe eats the wrong mushroom, you could get an episode like they described in last week's Walking Dead.
And there's some pretty crazy episodes of The Walking Dead in its history. So, I don't want to be too hard on the gentleman.
Maybe I missed an episode. I need to go back and make sure. So he's doing his thing in the woods. Carol's let her hair go back to nature while she's living and farming with Ezekiel. Michonne's having a hard time coping with reestablishing society without Rick, but she's not hopeless. And that's kind of the big thrust of this scene.
Before we move ahead, there's a couple questions I have. What the fuck is the super school bus? Is this some kind of... Yeah, man, there's like 5 school buses welded together. And I thought like, is there some idea that there's like some kind of supply train that like, if you're going to take like a 3-day drive to the hilltop to exchange goods, you essentially reinvented the freight train only on roads. Huh. You didn't see these? You didn't see these buses?
I didn't take note of them, no.
It's over at the Kingdom. Yeah, they've got like these buses that look like they're welded together with like kind of accordion things in between them, like a big city metro bus.
This is like when you take a Hummer and you cut the front, you cut it in half and then put like limousine parts in the middle.
Oh yeah, stretch limo Hummer, sure.
Okay.
I don't know. I was like, I feel like
that's just Ezekiel's personal transportation.
It's Chekhov's super bus, and I want to see what happens with it. But I think the Kingdom looks really nice. Like they're really, as it might be a rundown, ramshackle piece of shit to Carol, but as far as post-apocalyptic life, it looks nice.
I think Carol's hair looks nice, although it doesn't look as nice as it will once she dreads it, and she will. Yeah, for damn sure dread that.
You got to grow it out first.
Yeah.
What do you think of Daryl roughing it out there with like the river zombies? I don't know why.
That seems like Daryl.
I don't know why he had to break his fish spear to kill that zombie.
Yeah.
He just like doesn't know how to kill things with just one thing anymore. It's got to be double blades. It's going to be double crossbow.
Mm-hmm.
And then also the literal bluebird on the zombie shoulder, picking worms, giving to the baby bird's circle of life. It's a little, number one, a little off the nose. Also a little uncanny valley on those birds.
Oh, were they bad CG?
Pretty, yeah. Like this show cannot do animals in CG.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm not noticing any of the things that you're noticing in this show. Buses and birds, and
I think you're keeping your head down, getting these notes done, and trying to make it. It's in and out. This is like a supply run in the apocalypse for you.
Absolutely.
But yeah, like I honestly that songbird in the Expanse, animated on a space station at 1/3 Earth gravity, looked more natural than these fucking bluebirds.
I did notice some buses. Like I noticed an overgrown bus that looks like something out of the new Last of Us game or something. They're doing a pretty good job with the time jump. Although I would dispute the idea that this kind of thing would only happen after a time jump. as opposed to all of the time we've spent after the apocalypse.
Yeah.
You know, we're how many years? Like 13 years or something after the event?
I think it was only like 3 years total have passed. You know, I mean, look how old Judith was, right?
Damn.
Like only 3 years total has passed since the fall of mankind. So I think, you know, you're probably to get the kind of overgrowth we're seeing now. Yeah, you need 8 to 10 years. So it's cool. Yeah. And then, you're talking about Michonne finding her little effigy of Rick in that little bus.
The most important thing that'll stick with us through this whole episode. She finds that little sheriff figure.
I was confused in the cold open because I thought that was going to lead up to her at Rick's grave somehow, like talking to him. But it seems like this is kind of like what Rick had with Lori, where she doesn't have a cell phone, but she just talks to him because like there's no. It'd be appropriate to have a grave marker at the site of, you know, Rick Grimes' heroic sacrifice to save the hilltop.
Oh yeah,
you know. What is it? And also, like, I thought it was a bad omen when you see that the bridge is still destroyed. I'm like, oh shit, there must be still bad blood between the kingdom, right where?
Yeah, they say a rift happened. Yeah, which there's a physical rift. Yeah,
there's a physical rift, but like I thought Maggie was really making progress on this whole deal, and you know, we're gonna find out more next week apparently as we take the new people over there. But
yeah,
it's a shame. It's a shame seeing everybody split up like this.
So then the group finds Judith. So we've got a few groups in the woods here. We've got our survivors. Sure. We've got Judith, who's the bridge between our survivors and this new group of survivors. I don't know. Not intentional. She's got a few random survivors in tow, and she has to convince her group to help them as the walkers close in on their location. And there are a couple of things I noticed in this scene. For one, Aaron's hand.
Yeah,
Army of Darkness shit happening.
That's what he's gone full Bruce Campbell on us, and I'm like, yeah, that's some kind of blacksmith special.
Yeah, where the fuck did this blacksmith get an example of a mechanical arm?
Right. Did they go and the Stark laboratory and get an Iron Man suit or something? Because like it does look suspiciously like a man is just wearing a metal gauntlet over his real hand.
It sure does,
and much less like a prosthetic. Which fair enough, that's cool. Mm-hmm. Did you notice the other big upgrade?
I think I know what you're going to say. Go for it.
Eugene, the party don't quit and back, man. It just gotten longer and longer and gotten braided.
This makes total sense for that guy.
Full on mantail now.
I love it.
Yeah. It's honestly a better look.
Uh-huh.
And he's also kind of a badass now. You know, like he's slaying zombies with the best of them.
Yeah, and you know, Eugene's still got the same attitudes as before. He's all about utility. He doesn't give a shit about how tasty your meals are. It's all about mileage on those meals. I'm so far I'm really enjoying like all the reintroductions to our characters.
Yeah, it's cool to see because there's like a lot of like little mysteries that had a long ways. Like, holy shit, Michonne's got a baby child.
Yeah.
And the fact that like there's a rift between Hilltop and Kingdom and Alexandria. The fact that Alexandria isn't welcoming to outsiders anymore. Like I'm struggling to put the connections between Rick Grimes' death and that. And I wonder if there's another death because it looked like everyone that we knew that was alive and before the time jump is still there. Is there anyone notably missing?
We haven't seen Tara yet.
Or Maggie.
Yeah. I mean, nobody from the Hilltop.
Boston Rob is unaccounted for.
Yeah.
The blacksmith is alluded to, so I assume he's still blacksmithing over there.
I mean, is Jesus alive? Did he die? And is he coming back?
I don't know, but like it's got to like I'm thinking that like how would Rick's death galvanize Alexandria against newcomers? That doesn't quite track with me. So I think
maybe it's because they tried to integrate Sanctuary
or
the
Jadis.
Saviors.
She turned traitor on them over that. So,
and I guess Gabriel would know that.
Yeah. You know, I was talking. Do you want to talk a little Rick talk?
Sure.
I was talking to Jason Kabasi, our buddy over at the Walking Dead podcast, and he mentioned, he didn't give me any spoilers, but he mentioned one of the things that, like, I guess contemporarily the fans didn't like about that is the idea of so I guess that the idea is to save Andrew Lincoln for like perhaps a trilogy of Walking Dead films to come. And the problem with that is like the whole point of Rick's episode is he would never stop looking for his family. Like, how the hell do you put Rick Grimes in ice in some kind of a post-apocalyptic civilization where he doesn't get out and find his kill everyone between him and his family? You know, it's like
if there's just too much ground for him to cover, like, maybe he wouldn't know where he is.
I mean,
and he'd be looking but unable to find them.
I just saying that, like, the idea that you're just going to go back, like if they flash forward 4 years or 5 years or 6 years or however many years it's been, and he's still just hanging there with Jadis and just hanging out and integrated with the thing, like, that's going to be hard to believe.
Yeah.
It's hard to put Rick Grimes on ice when his whole thing is he's not going to stop until he finds his family and the people that he loves. So I don't know. We'll see how they handle that if they ever do.
Yeah. So then we go to Jerry and Carol shooting the shit while he's working on the exterior of a kingdom building. A water main blows, and Henry, Carol, and Jerry fix it with duct tape. And Henry, it doesn't really seem to want this job of fixing the plumbing, but they don't really have the resources to devote to this at this point. So there's a moment where he, has an attitude with his father and gets a disciplinary action.
I think that being a plumber in Apocalypse is like being a Jedi Knight. Like every young farm boy down on the homestead wants to go and start his training, man. Like, because that's what his whole point is. Like, we need better tools, we need better training, and he wants to go to Hilltop and learn the old ways at the foot of the master. And Ezekiel says, "I'm not going to let you look. Take it from a damn fool idealistic crusader. I ain't going to let you go off there and fight."
Who's the plumbing master at the Hilltop?
I think it's the blacksmith, right?
Like, get out of here. The
plumbing's just a subsection of blacksmithing. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, you think they're making PVC pipe over there? Fuck no. It's made out of lead the way the Romans intended it to be. But I tell you what, Jerry's looking pretty good. Did he slim down, or is it just him taking off that fucking quilt?
Yeah, maybe the padding is most of the padding.
Yeah, like I thought Jerry was mostly padding before now too, and he's still, to be fair, he's still got the thickness, but holy shit, he's got some mountains of muscle under all that quilted padding too. Jerry's looking post-apocalyptic hot.
I wonder if they've been saving this reveal of like this actor having lost some weight, and they've been like artificially inflating him with the quilting, so you'd think he was still big, so that when they did this transition, it would look seamless.
Yeah, didn't Hurley have the kind of the same thing in Lost, where that guy, like, as he got rich and famous, is like, you know what, maybe I want to be around here for a while. I thought he got kind of like borderline healthy by the end. No,
he's no Jonah Hill for sure.
Was it the opposite?
He definitely lost some weight just from filming in Hawaii and being in the jungle.
It out. Yeah.
I remember he did lose a bunch of weight, or he did lose some weight and get healthy, but he was still big.
Pretty big guy. All right.
Yeah. There's a moment with Carol and Jerry that I really love where, he's talking about how the only thing that isn't broken here is our loyalty to you or whatever. She's the like, Queen, Jerry.
This has been going on for years. But I think she loves it now. Like, it's part of she's actually like, I think she'd be kind of sad if Jerry ever stopped calling her Queen.
Oh, yeah, that's the feigned annoyance that comes with affection, for sure.
Yeah.
And I was surprised to see Henry all grown up. He's. I assume they didn't take a 5-year break from filming.
No,
I assume it's a different actor.
I think it's just like an Isaac Hempstead Wright kind of deal. Like, if Walking Dead could have taken a 4-year pause in between like seasons for like 4 and 5, like kids like just legit, man, it happened to my son. He was little boy, somewhere between 12 and 13. He's like a manlet. He's not full grown man, but like the transformation is happening. And it's crazy to look at him from a photograph of 12 months ago versus now. And I think the same thing, fucking testosterone's a hell of a drug.
Yep.
It hits you and you start growing up and filling out. So I think they're just leaning into that. Usually they suppress it, right? This kid's been filming on the show for like 4 fucking years. now there's like, shit, let's just dress him appropriately and not have the actor stand on milk crates next to him, and suddenly he's all grown.
Sure.
But no, I like it. I like he's a pretty cool guy.
So then there's a walk and talk with Carol and Ezekiel's having trouble raising Henry, and there's a rift that we find out about. Well, it's alluded to between the kingdom and the hilltop. Carol just says, lighten up. Like, Carol's weird. Carol's real weird.
She's very zen.
Not sure how I feel about her in this episode. She's, she's this, and then she's what she is later in the episode.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm here to defend my queen.
Absolutely. I think that is what we see later from Carol is definitely Carol, but also there's this, she's back to her old Alexandria, like baking cookies / murdering people.
Cooking with Carol. It's fully back. I'm in for it. She's what she needs to be whenever she needs to be it. And I'm here for it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And then we go to the new survivors who are taken to Alexandria, where they're reluctant to enter a new community until Judith guarantees their safety. And when they enter, they're blown away by the state of it. They see all the, they don't realize the progress, but we realize the progress.
Yeah, they're saying, wow. I'm saying, wow. Holy shit, look at all this stuff.
Yeah, you got a windmill? That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, windmill, watermill. Everyone's a shitty bow girl now.
Right. Sadiq comes out to help the injured survivors, take them to the infirmary. Michonne rides through the gate and then gets shitty about these new members being here because they've got rules about this and they broke them.
It's the rule, yeah.
And it's suggested that they take a vote on whether they stay to be taken the next day. Michonne agrees and then send them to holding cells in the meantime.
Yeah. Though not really holding cells, more of just kind of like, I guess, secured apartments, maybe. Not even that secured because you can get in and out of them without any kind of guard. Maybe they should have.
Fair.
Like I was expecting them to lock him up with the I thought they're going to lock him up in the same place that Negan is. I'm like, oh, this is going to be some interesting stuff because he's going to fill their heads with this and that, but they didn't go there, which I'm kind of impressed with. They didn't go with the obvious thing.
I mean, would you call a building that doesn't have any guards and you can go freely holding?
Yeah, I know, right? Or maybe she's Magna. Maybe she's just really good at sneaking in and out of places. But still,
they don't even show that though.
The facility doesn't seem like it's very secure. So like, what the fuck even is holding? Yeah. I really like Judith's design. I like her hat. I like her clothes that kind of very reminiscent of Carl. I like the fact that she's wearing Rick's gun. She's got, I guess Michonne's got another katana. Like, I fucking love that she does seem like she's the child of both of these people. And it's really cool. And Carl, like all those influences are in her visual design. Hats off to the costume designers.
Yeah, it's good. I am curious how, Judith understands the emotional significance to Michonne of this sheriff figure, but okay, sure.
Did you remember that Aaron had a child?
No.
Yeah, I did. Him and his husband adopt like a couple years before, because I honestly don't remember, but he has a kid. And is that like, does he have a kid the way like Michonne has a kid that happened clearly off screen, or did I just forget that he took in a baby of somebody's back in season
Aaron,
8?
When a man and a pasta machine love each other very much.
They have a noodle kid.
They have a noodle baby, yeah. No, I didn't even notice that they had a kid.
Boil them for 8 to 9 months till they're al dente, and then they're ready to go.
Ezekiel sees off Henry as he goes on a supply run with Carol, and Ezekiel's very worried that his son won't return. But Henry's super excited about going, and Carol encourages Ezekiel to be a dreamer, essentially.
Yeah, I like that Ezekiel complaining about his boy being a dreamer, and not Michonne. Carol's like, oh boy, I wonder where he got that. Oh, King.
Yeah, there does seem to be some kind of yin and yang that they're doing with the parenting styles of Carol and Ezekiel, right? Sure. Ezekiel is much more concerned about his safety and well-being and much stricter with him, whereas Carol is a lot more laissez-faire.
And it's wild because, you'd think Carol would be a little bit more protective because of all the shit she's been through with her Sophia and Lizzie and like all the, kids in the apocalypse. But I don't know. I just feel like it's a lot of positive character growth that she's showing. And, she's splitting she's splitting the difference between moralizing and being a psychopath. And I think that's what you do if you have a healthy disposition in the apocalypse.
Yeah. All right, so the council comes together to decide the fate of the new survivors. These survivors claim not to have a leader, and they remember their friend Bernie very fondly, and then introduce themselves as a high schooler, a journalist, a fighter, and a music teacher. I'm calling this guy Chef, though, this music teacher, because
sure,
that's the first thing he offers to do.
Uh-huh.
We can call him Chef or Teach or whatever, interchangeably.
Hambone.
Anyway, Aaron's moved by their stories. Michonne is definitely not. She has to see the hand of one of them and reveals prison tats. Dun, dun, dun.
Ooh.
This woman says she has nothing to hide, but Michonne tells her to put her concealed knife on the table, which is in her belt buckle. And
Pretty
having made her
sick.
point, Michonne calls for a vote and walks out of the room.
Yeah, stomps off. I love it.
Yeah, that fucking, can I ask you a question? No.
Uh-huh. Yeah, fuck no.
Fucking borderline tyrant here. I'm not too happy with Michelle's behavior when it comes to new people in the community.
Well, she did make her point and then leave. So the council votes the way the council votes. And I also, it's interesting that the make up the council, we have two randos I don't think we ever have met before. We got Neck Tattoo Girl, Michonne, Gabe, Aaron, and Sadiq. That's a pretty good council. And it looks like Gabriel's like the head of the council. I like that council. That's a pretty good, that's a way better council than we had back in the prison days.
Sure.
And I wish we'd stayed to see a little bit of the debate, because I'm just fascinated by like the politics. I want to see like what, it's clearly there's some kind of operating government and charter. I wonder if that's what the rift is. The fact that they wanted to make it like a universal charter, and, Maggie's like, fuck no. And Ezekiel's like, oh, I'm a king and that's illegal in this charter. So.
Yeah. I feel like if we had flash forward maybe to sometime closer to where we were, not as many years, we might be able to see more development of the society. And we could also see, these survivors coming in a time where it's still very formative, because it seems very rigid now. Like, they've established very strict, hard and fast rules around new survivors, and Michonne is trying to enforce those, but we don't know what those are. Yeah. And I would have liked to see an evolutionary process here.
Sure.
But, The Walking Dead skips shit like that, because I'm not sure they're equipped to handle such a nuanced topic, but B, it's not where their core audience is, which is action and moralizing.
True.
I also wish that Michonne could understand a little bit why somebody who's been in the zombie apocalypse for as long as they have might want to carry a belt buckle knife.
Yeah. I just think, well, I think they kind of lampshade that, because isn't it Rosita saying like, yeah, Michonne knows what she's saying is a bunch of bullshit, but she's riled people up because she wants her way. She doesn't want these people in here because of some mysterious reason, and fuck them. Like she's an attorney using some dirty tricks playing to the jury to get a conviction.
And then I guess the rest of the council just defers to her. She makes a point, but it's a point in a sea of points that need to be made, right?
But wasn't she like a lawyer of some sort? And she's also head of security. So like, I bet like her word on who is and isn't cool inside the gates probably carries a lot of weight.
We need to get Eugene in there. Do an optical pat down.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'd have a thing or two to say.
He's right there skulking around on his knees, ready to bite a dick in case anything gets out of hand. He's like the bailiff, the dick fighting bailiff.
Yeah.
Where's her DBV? He's off setting up a ham tower. Who authorized this?
Is it weird that the only bailiff that I can think of is the bailiff from Judge Wapner's People's Court?
Oh, I was thinking you're going to say the dude from Night Court.
Oh, Bull?
Bull. He's, when I think of bailiff, I always think of Bull,
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think of whatever no-name face they had in the People's Court back in the 90s.
Sure. Was that still Wapner? They'd replaced him already.
No, I think early 90s was definitely still Wapner.
Gotcha.
But nobody here has any idea what I'm talking about. All right, let's move on. Gabriel's trying to repair a radio with no luck. Rosita comes in and they talk about the vote, along with how Michonne has changed since Rick's death. And Eugene and Gabriel think they should boost the radio signal with a remote amplifier, but Michonne would say that's a security breach, so it's off the table until Rosita offers to just get it done behind her back. And she she shocks the world by planting a kiss on Gabriel. How did this happen?
I don't know. I have a big upgrade from Sub Commander Jadis, right?
Hell yeah.
I didn't even hate Jadis that much, but like fucking Rosita, damn.
Mm-hmm.
So way to go, Gabriel.
Yeah, I guess, 5 years changes a lot.
Yeah,
or however many years it's been.
It's a lot of growth there. But yeah, I'm curious to see like if we'll, how will back, because like there's also this torch that Eugene's holding, and I'm like, well, that's not going to be fun. Like, what kind of fucking fucked up love triangle are they trying to get to? But it seems like it's mostly for comic effect. Like no one takes it seriously.
They fucking should, because Eugene has an entire sexual harassment police force, security force monitoring Rosita.
Does he? What?
Yeah, later on in the episode when they're on the thing, he's like, "Oh, I've been noticing the whatever."
Wait, I've
had my little birds.
You missed a super bus, and he's gone full Varys with her, checking on her coming and going with the little bird.
Yeah, he has. All right, it's disturbing.
I missed that. That was my super bus of the episode, apparently.
At least I think that's true. If anybody knows differently, write in and let me know. But
all right, yeah. Walking Dead at baldmove.com or Watching Dead at baldmove.com.
So
pretty close to our feedback episode, like 2 more episodes, I think.
Yeah, it's coming up pretty soon. So Michonne's talking to Rick's ghost about protecting the community, and Judith overhears her. I watched what you did to protect him. Is she talking about Carl?
Yeah, that's the thing. I think on some of these she's talking to Carl, and some she's talking to Rick, and I'm not sure. It might actually all be Rick, but it does spook Judith a little bit. And they use this nicely at the end of the episode, I thought. So
yeah, and I think they're doing some pretty good things here with setting up conflict, societal political conflict here, with people who have differing stances on things, different approaches. Like you look at Ezekiel and Carol, different approaches to raising Henry. You look at Michonne and maybe Gabriel, different approaches to protecting this community. Because Michonne seems to be all completely focused on protecting the community rather than making it happy and healthy or growing it. Any of the other number of things that could make a community better.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think that's one of the things they've done really good this season, and I like that they are setting up little scenes like this to pay off later on. It does feel like they're paying a lot more attention to like their overall story structure and the entire, as it plays out over a season and episode to episode, which I felt like something that they haven't bothered doing for a long time in the writer's room.
Yeah. Okay, Carol and Henry predictably run into a situation on the road. Henry hears a woman screaming, and he runs off, luring them both into a savior trap.
If only Mad Max were there, he'd be able to say, "Henry, that's bait. You can't fucking go over that." And also, little too old to be running ahead of his only backup on this situation, you know? I mean, he's got his head full of being a prince and destined for greater things and fighting the wrongs and all that. But like, yeah, it was obvious that they were going to get fucked.
Am I wrong to think that this might be his first mission outside the gates?
I think you might be right, especially without his dad or, a bodyguard, Jerry there. Because even...
Carol's a bodyguard, but...
Carol is a bodyguard, but like, the first time he's probably not been part of a patrol, like 6, 7 other knights with him. I'm surprised that they're still rock. I thought that by now they would have had like some sheet metal that they could bolt over some of that plastic armor, Yeah,
still rocking the bike, the knee pads.
Looks a little new for how long they've been using it. I would expect that to be quite a bit more faded and tattered and whatnot. Yeah. But I don't know. Maybe there's a Dick's Sporting Goods and he's got racks of that shit left.
Could be.
But I don't know. They're making a detour, and I wonder, because I thought that one woman got killed by Seaside. Like, she's the one on her knees begging for her life. She's the one that was the bait. I thought, like, did Seaside lose their nerve?
Man, you're I think you're right. I'm envisioning the scene, and I thought it was the
I
same.
thought it was Daryl and Maggie were walking away, and they got like 50, 60 feet away, and then the gunshot went off. But I mean, I guess we didn't see her, so maybe they did. Maybe they lost their nerve, and fuck, maybe they only winged her.
Fired into the air, Point Break style.
Yeah, and said, "Get the hell out of here!" Yeah. And don't ever tell anyone we didn't kill you, or we'll kill you. I don't know.
Right.
Weird. I thought she was dead. And since she doesn't make it out of this episode, I'm kind of like, why did they fuck with the continuity that way? Is it going to be did The Walking Dead fuck up their continuity, or is it going to be a story point that Seaside is not quite as hardcore as like Alexandria and the Kingdom might have been?
The other possibility is they're not the same person, and we're just misremembering.
I'm almost positive that's the same woman, but yeah, you know,
there might be people screaming into their phones right now.
Mm-hmm.
Calling us idiots. But you know, we are idiots. So they're trying real hard to make.
We're back to this show, aren't we?
yeah. There's something not right about that.
Something not right.
This dude, I think his name's Jed. I don't know. Is this the guy you're calling Rico Suave? Is that him?
No, he's not Rico. This guy was like the shoe polished black, like all black beard and hair, like just matte black thing. Yeah,
they're trying real fucking hard to make him a character. Like he's chewing a match. Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it. Really I hate it. It's stupid, but I love it.
Really making a meal out of this D-list savior henchman. How is he the leader? There's no fucking way he'd be the leader of this group.
I don't know.
He can't say anything to, he's got the fucking beard and the hair. It's a monolith. He's so dark. It's like staring into the abyss.
Then we go to the scene I was talking about earlier with Eugene revealing to Rosita that he knows about her and Gabriel, and he's less than thrilled. And they come upon a bunch of dirt in the road and point toward the sanctuary, I guess.
Yeah,
I think that's right. With the two stacks.
I know it's a zombie herd with. Oh no! So they're looking. Wait, I thought what they're establishing is there is a water tower complex that they want to put this antenna on in the opposite direction the herd is going. I didn't know that it was going to. It seems like the sanctuary has collapsed anyway. Like it's like a ghost town.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
But yeah, it seems like Eugene has a personal sexual harassment force monitoring Rosita's whereabouts.
I can either confirm or deny, but would not be surprised.
Also, we come off of what is a savior trap, scene with a savior trap, right?
He gets her a necklace and it's just a radio tracking collar.
Oh,
I thought this looked really pretty around your neck, Rosita.
Eugene, this pendant is very big, very large. I'm not sure it's real heavy.
Why is it beeping and blinking
flashing
red? Yeah. This antenna's pokey. I don't understand. You're gonna want to have to change the battery every 2 to 3 days.
It says full Rosita on the back. So we come out of a scene that is a savior trap, and we go to this scene where there is a dirt smear across the road. My first instinct is not to think walkers. My first instinct is to think trap.
Yep, I'm thinking that's one of those tiger traps that's like, 15 foot deep and just covered with leaves. And
you can't take your wagon across that. No way.
No, you can't trust it. You can't trust a fresh dirt patch in the middle of a road. Are you kidding me?
Not in the apocalypse.
Yeah, that's exactly what they do. They make it look like a herd did it.
Mm-hmm.
Duh. They're
I don't know if they cross it or not, but
yeah,
they go somewhere. And we go to the next scene where Sadiq says that the injured survivor will be back on her feet tomorrow, and Prison Tats is worried that she's not in the shape to travel if they get kicked out. I guess I'm just going to call Sadiq Doctor now. Doctor mentions to Chef that things have changed, but he doesn't say how. It was different then. What does he mean? Good, bad? Like they were just surviving.
Carl's still alive, It's like Rick. I don't think Sadiq would be in the group if it weren't for Carl.
Yeah, you're probably right. And Judith is following in his footsteps that way.
Yeah, which scary because, didn't Carl directly die as a result of his intervening with Sadiq, got bit?
Maybe. That sounds right.
I think he did. So like if, there is some unfortunate and uncomfortable foreshadowing with like Judith being just like Rick and Carl.
Mm-hmm.
But surely they're not going to kill off the last scion of Rick Grimes. Come on
I
now.
don't know. Maybe. Is RJ Rick's baby too?
I think so. I think we're gonna. I mean that.
He looks like he's about. I think
he looks like he's like 3 or 4 years old. That's why I'm thinking it's closer to 3 or 4 than like 7. And he does look like he's a mix of Michonne and Rick. And so like, you know, we know they're boning like crazy. So I think that she didn't know that she was pregnant, but she was, and that's like literally this is a Shane baby kind of deal. Shane came back from the grave to father another one.
How would that even happen?
Check his lobes. I want to see if there's any ghostly Shane activity that explains this. Do we know that Rick even had functional sperm?
No, we don't.
Are any of those children actually his? You know, I don't know.
We're not sure.
Yeah, I haven't seen him. I haven't seen him jerk it in a cup. I haven't seen a microscope anywhere near those samples.
That's the only proof.
Yeah, but no, I think it is. I think. I don't know how they're going to reveal this, but like, I think Michonne didn't know she was pregnant, but she was pregnant right as Rick died. Must be. Yeah. Has to be.
So Boston Jed menaces Carol and then tells her that they can keep their wagon and lives if they give them everything inside of the wagon. She agrees, and then Henry puts up a little bit of a fight, but doesn't go anywhere. Everybody gets what they want, except for the people who wanted that food. They get disappointment. They get nothing.
I see. I think it was interesting to have Henry kind of going along until they try to steal, like, you know, his old man's ring right off his mom's finger. Yeah. He's going to bucket that, and of course he would. But Carol keeps things cool. I thought it's really actually kind of cool the way these ex-saviors are using zombies as like beast of burden. Do you notice that? They'd harnessed all these zombies and like just, you know, to get them to go where you want them to go, you just walk in front of them. Like, that's fucking genius.
Sure.
Like, I don't have a problem with using zombie manpower. It seems like it's an anathema to the Alexandrians, and maybe it's because it's the association with, you know, the savior complex. Mm-hmm. Apparently, you can't say Dixie anymore because it's associated with the racist structure of the South. And maybe it's the same kind of deal. It's like, it's nothing inherently wrong with zombies being lashed to because like they're just dead bodies, right?
Yeah, so it's dangerous. I mean, the one objection you could have is that it's dangerous. You can't store your zombie labor inside the walls of your.
But what if you remove their arms and jaws? Like, I'm not even sure that they hadn't done that. Like, if you do that, then they're just like, you know, a fucking horse can kick you in the head and bite the hell out of you. So I'm not saying that they can't be obnoxious, but like, you take off their arms and you take off their mandibles, and I think they'd just be, you know, good labor.
No, you're not wrong. I could get a mill going.
I mean, it's a slippery slope when you're using like some form of humanity, because then it's like, hey man, what if we ran out of zombies? Well, we got some prisoners. Well, you can't use prison labor, but what happens if we just condemn them to death? Now we got zombies. Like, I can see there being a slippery slope to maybe wanting to shore up there, make some hard lines.
Maybe. But
it's a cool concept.
Yeah. So Negan helps Judith with her homework while manipulating her to try and get information about the outside world. Tells her this story about bringing home stray dogs and how that ended badly, and tries to use it to turn her on basically everyone. And Judith is not impressed with his logic or his life path, and tells him that she doesn't want his life lessons, only math lessons.
And the way she said, I thought was pretty great, because he's like, you know, tells her parable to strays and how she should listen to him. She's like, oh yes, and look how great everything turned out for you. Yeah. And it's like, well, why do you want my help on your math? It's because it doesn't matter if you're a good or bad person on the inside. The numbers don't care. Mm-hmm. Negan is intrigued. I'm really do you think that Michonne knows about this shit? Her using, she's got to, right? This isn't happening in a private area. Like, the prison's right in the middle of town. Like, someone's got to see her doing this stuff. So I'm wondering if I'm wondering how people feel about Negan at this point. Yeah,
I'm looking at Negan, and I don't know how he has survived this long. He was on a hunger strike, trying to end his own life. Couldn't do it. You know,
broken man as we last saw him.
Totally broken, just completely insane, off the deep end. And now here he seems to have some rejuvenated spirit, still trying, to get out of his situation, but not as desperate, not as insane.
Yeah, as I say, I'm just wondering how, because like I said, I stopped reading at the time where it looked like Carl was going to have an unhealthy fascination with talking to the governor. So I don't know where the fuck they're going. I don't know if they're trying to resurrect like Carl's plot here with Judith. Or what, but I'm in for it. I think it could potentially be cool. I actually kind of think it would be neat to rehabilitate the Negan in some way.
Yeah, talk about dangerous.
Yeah,
it's worse than keeping a walker in your town.
Well, you take off his arms and his mandible.
There you go.
Shove the bat up his ass. How much trouble can you get into?
Yeah. All right. Eugene repairs a water tower? No, he doesn't repair this water tower. He plants this radio on the water tower. They spot a herd approaching, and he tries to climb down from this water tower, but he falls because he knocks the ladder over and breaks his leg, and then they pretty easily escape the herd anyway. They've driven off their horses. Yeah. I guess he drops his bag and the horses run away for some reason.
Yeah. And do you think that, like, what was the significance of him dropping the backpack? Because I felt like he might have some crucial piece of signaling gear, but I don't think they established that. But he had this kind of like, oh Jesus, look of horror as his bag dropped. I don't know.
I imagine later they're gonna have to go back for it for some reason.
I mean, I don't know if you got the mystery of the whispering walkers, but I wonder if like these do I have to pretend like I don't know what's going on here?
Yeah, this is the first episode in a long time where a spoiler section makes a lot of sense, but
but I wonder if like there's going to be some kind of information in that backpack that might lead this suspiciously intelligent walker pack to Alexander's location.
Yeah,
and
could be.
Which fucking proved Michonne right, which might set us up for a whole fucking season of Morgul Michelling. I don't know.
No, I don't want that.
Yeah, we're doing so well.
So Henry questions what happened to Carol over the past several years, why her attitude changed so much about the immutable nature of right and wrong. Doesn't really get an answer.
I mean, you can tell it sticks in her craw, though. The fact that they pulled that ring off her finger, like, she's like, God damn, these... and I thought there would be a reckoning. I did not think it would be this swift and savage.
No. As a matter of fact, when it happened,
goddamn, yeah.
When it happened, I thought this is a dream sequence. This is what she wishes she could do, but she's a different person now, and so she won't.
She hasn't forgotten.
She never wakes up from that dream.
She hasn't forgotten how to roast fuckers. Nope.
Yeah,
I'm not even mad.
Wow.
We'll talk about it when we get there.
So the rest of the group is pissed at Prison Tats for bringing in the knife. Turns out she's got another knife on her. I think she has a third knife by the end of this episode.
We're starting to get really sketchy on the word knife, though. Like,
for sure.
That little thing that you cut a wine seal foil with at the end of is that like, yeah, it's like, let's see your bottle opener, Magma.
Long fingernails, knives.
Yeah, you got your coat nail. Where's your press on acrylic? Come on, hand it over. Like, we're getting, this isn't even fucking box cutter technology. This is like, oh, you got that one of those key knives, keep on your keychain.
This is the kind of knife that you buy for $1.50 at a flea market that's so fucking dull. The first time you try and take it out to whittle a stick into a spear or whateher,
hurt yourself.
It doesn't do anything. You slide it off the end and slice your legs open.
Right, because it'll cut your thigh, no problem.
Sure.
Fucking whittling the wood, no. Yeah, it's Crocodile Dundee would be very dismissive of this knife. It would not meet the criteria of knife for him.
Fuck no. So she doesn't want to get kicked out of the community, and she encourages everyone to fight to stay, but everyone else either wants to avoid a fight or try and convince them to allow them to stay, which I think is the more rational, the better option here.
Yeah, I even like Chef Man, like if you're talking fight, like debate, yes. If you're talking fight, like, come on, there's kids here and shit. And like, man,
what are you going to do?
Yeah, some self-awareness of people that have been in the shit this long. They're like, they even have a reference. Like, maybe this is their Cole Porter or whatever. Like, they've had some kind of nasty pot because you've had to. Like, that's one of the things I'm really excited about. The idea that, like, I thought it was a little kind of ridiculous when they rolled up on Alexandria and everybody's kind of like, you know, having wine cooler parties and all this kind of stuff. You know, then I got to see how my fellow Americans weathered a pandemic. So maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I overestimated humanity. Yeah. But, you know, like there's no illusions on either side. Like, you know, what are you going to do? You're going to take over this whole fucking compound. They're not. You can tell they've got a good life here. What then? Yeah, and they're going to, like, us five with our fucking bottle opener is not going to outdo these people with bows and spears, and they look tough and all that kind of stuff. Did you see that guy with the cyborg arm? Right. It was good.
I bet he's got a boomstick somewhere.
Yeah, like there's the one kind of delusional, desperate person, but the rest of the group is kind of like, no, man, you're not gonna do this to us. And she listened. Like, you don't need artificial drama. There's enough drama there.
No, I like prison tats. I think, you know, she's
warming up.
Rightfully suspicious of everyone, as you should be in the apocalypse. She wants to protect herself. I get that. You know, she has a bad idea here, but she listens to reason and ultimately goes and apologizes to Michonne. Like, I like it.
Yeah, it's a good thing Michonne didn't just open the door and slice her katana, like, you know.
Right.
Like, do you want to knock on her door under cover of darkness while she's home alone with her children? Like, yeah, Jesus, man, leave the mama bear alone. You know.
So in the middle of the night, here's the Carol scene. Carol goes back for the saviors, covers them in gasoline, and lights them on fire because they hurt her son.
These saviors, heavy sleepers. How heavy a sleeper you got to be doused with gasoline or alcohol and not instantly wake up because of the smell, because of the extreme cooling sensation, because of the wetness. Like, but okay, sure. Carol gets to be a real fucking cast iron badass. I'm gonna allow it.
Yeah, I'm not sure I like it. Like, I love that Carol does it.
Walk me through it. What's your problem?
My problem is the example that it's setting for Henry. Like, her parenting skills. Here's my problem with it. Her parenting skills. Like, she's essentially said, I'm going to hide all my actions, my true feelings from my children for their own good. So I'm going to lie to them. I don't know. That seems...
He's still a kid. And I think that, like, him noticing she's got her ring back is going to signal some kind of, like, character development with him.
Yeah, he does notice it later.
But do you have a problem with the fact that because, like, to me, these people are, like, I'm actually surprised that they let her go. Like, this kind of, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm talking myself out of this because these guys are saviors and they're you know, kind of outlaws for sure. But they do spare her and her children. Like, they take, you know, it's kind of Robin Hood. Like, they need to eat and stuff, but they're giving, you know, they're not taking their horses. They're not taking their wagon. They're not killing their boy. They did take the wedding ring. That's kind of a dick move. But I don't know. Like, these are all Negan's henchmen that were too cool for fucking school. And they hold up Carol at, you know, and take everything but her life. And I don't know. Yeah, fucking torch him.
Like, no, I mean, I have no problem with what she did. It's just the way that she hid it from Henry and, you know, tries to put on this, like, her cookie face. Tries to put on her cookie face in front of Henry. I just, I don't like lying to kids so much.
Yeah, it's tough when you're talking about murder and the zombie apocalypse.
I know.
Like, maybe trying to preserve...
The equations just don't add up in that scenario, but...
Yeah. But I wonder if there is going to be some kind of, like, you know, him understanding. Because, like I said, I think you can morally justify the act. I mean, burning him alive is pretty fucking metal, but, you know, I saw what happened at the sanctuary.
Oh, yeah. And it's well within her character. I saw what happened to Terminus, so...
Yeah. Fucking the whole thing went up as like a giant flambe.
All right, so Prison Tats is sneaking into Michonne's house to murder her, I guess, until she realizes that she has a kid, and instead she tells Michonne that she was right to mistrust her because of the stakes. She gets that. And then when Prison Tats leaves, Judith shows up on the stairs with her dad's gun, presumably fully loaded and cocked, and convinces Michonne to give them a chance by playing the plastic Rick figure card.
by demanding it at gunpoint. God damn it, Mom. You better do what my daddy would want you to do, or it's all going to turn around right now for you.
Yeah. But, you know, my standard usual gripes about adult writing for children here, but it is what it is.
Yeah. And I do think... So you thought Magma's coming there to kill Michonne?
She's got a knife, and it's open, and like, I don't know. Maybe it's open just in case anybody catches her.
Yeah.
But like, what's her plan? She's going to sneak out to apologize and murder someone along the way? That's not going to go well.
No, like I said, this Cover of Darkness stuff, you know, maybe a bad idea. Also, maybe a bad idea to surrender all your weapons right before you're about to be turned out of the city gates. But
yeah,
you know, it's a gambit, and it worked out in you know, Prison Tat's favor. It was also, I thought, the whoever they got playing young Judith, Juder here. I really liked. You know, you complain about the adult writing, but I thought this. I understand you still talk to Daddy and Carl, but I'm starting to forget their voices. Like that's fucking, that hit me in the feels.
Sure.
Because yeah, as a kid, man, it's got to be hard. That's got to be a hard memory to hold on to, especially when you're that young.
Oh yeah, I have very, very few memories. Even in my teen years, I had very few memories of being as young as Judith was when her father disappeared.
Right on. So I thought that was pretty poignant and did the job on Michonne.
Then Eugita and Rosine are chased through the woods by the herd. Eugene decides to confess his love for Rosita at this moment, but she cuts him off.
It's so great. Shut up. Stop making this weird. We're all going to make it through this. Like, it's, you know, fucking stop with your dick biting and your creepy behavior. You know, we're going to do this. We're going to do this.
Yeah, drop the fucking artifice, Eugene. Like,
yeah,
you've already been shown to be a charlatan, whatever, when you were in the sanctuary. Now, just drop it.
Of course, wasn't that the thing with Eugene? Is like, he is a little, like, I wonder how she sees him, because her and Abraham both knew he used to perv on them when they were, you know, fucking in like the library and stuff. So like, I wonder if she sees him as like this annoying younger brother. But that's a weird dynamic too. Yeah. I
don't like any of the relational stuff that's going on.
But she's not having it. She's not having it, which I appreciate too.
Yeah, she needs to squash it a little harder though. All right, Henry apologizes for what he said last night and thanks Carol for saving them. And they run into Daryl and give him a ride.
Just a Daryl detour. She had to know, because she said that they're taking a detour to someplace special.
You might be right.
Yeah, so I think that there was some, like, she kind of had a vague idea where he's at or something, and I don't know why she's going back and getting him now. Maybe because they also talk about this fair. Like, is King Ezekiel going to throw a full-on Renaissance fair?
Why not?
I think that would be cool to see, like, everybody kind of like jousting and doing like medieval shit and having fun. Although it does seem awful dangerous to do in a zombie apocalypse too. Like, why would you engage in fake martial games when, you know, you're constantly fighting zombies and stuff? But
I mean, Knights did it.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I just think I answered my own fucking question.
Yeah.
But I wonder, like, is she recruiting him to be, hey, Daryl, you gonna win the bow off? You know, we got all these shitty bow girls and boys, and I haven't seen your skill with the what do you call a bow? What's a cool name for a bow? Like, is there like a, you know, there's not a lot of getting cool names for bows, like gats, heaters, six shooters, smoke wagons. Your skill with the twanger.
Yeah,
haven't seen your skills with the twanger in quite some time. Come back and show the young bucks how it all goes.
Eugene has plenty of experience with twangers.
He is a twanger.
Okay, let's move on from the Renaissance Fair, although it would be fun to see.
I think it's what they're going to do. I think straight up they're going to have like some kind of fucking Renaissance fest.
I would love it. I'd love it.
It's something to do with StalkerCon too.
Jerry will win the joust, right? For sure.
I would. How do you unseat the mountain?
I don't think you can.
No. You can climb it, but you can't unseat it. That's for sure.
So Michonne takes off her shirt to reveal an X scar on her back.
Fuck? Did she give a kidney to somebody?
That's what I'm thinking. Like, did Sadiq perform a very bad C-section? Like,
oops. Gonna do the C-section the hard way.
Right.
Yeah. I wonder. I don't know. But it is conspicuous. Like, it's not like a zombie did that or something to her. Like, it's just a giant X.
Yeah, and I want to say that was not there before, but I don't know that we've ever seen her back.
I can't remember her having that or any kind of injury she took in that area, and it's so conspicuous and even like a giant, like an X.
And wasn't she wearing like essentially a tube top kind of thing when she first showed up? Wouldn't we see that?
I'm trying to think if she was wearing, because I thought, I guess she did have a bared midriff for a lot of this first couple seasons.
I think so. Yeah, we probably would have seen that if it was there before. So I think that happened over the jump here, the time jump.
Yeah. She's got slightly different hairstyle too, right?
Yeah, it's kind of pushed over to one side,
or like she shaved one side of it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I was looking through some historical pictures of Michonne.
Maybe she donated a kidney. That's got to be it.
It could be, but I don't think that's a kid. I thought that's like it's about the size of a scar you'd have, I think, but I don't think they do an X. But maybe Sadiq need the extra room. Needs that room to maneuver.
It's true. He's working with the blacksmith's version of a scalpel. All they could find was a Bowie knife.
It's a lawnmower blade or some shit.
Right.
This is the best you can do. Well, hell, find me an example of a scalpel. What about the razors the women are shaving their leg? Those are my leg shavers, Doc. Come on, don't be stupid. Yeah.
Okay.
This blacksmith guy.
New survivors are prepping to be exiled when Michonne shows up to offer a compromise. They can all go to the hilltop, and Maggie might want them. I don't know. They haven't even asked her yet.
Did they use Maggie's name? Because I'm not even sure.
Oh, no, that's an assumption I made.
Because the other thing is, like, wasn't there talk about Laura? What's her name? Not Dern. Green. Well, who's Maggie's?
Lenny?
Who plays Maggie?
Oh, Lauren Cohen.
Lauren Cohen. Wasn't there talk about her having a whole other series, and they might have to write her out too, even as they position her? So, like,
I thought that happened already, right?
That's what I'm saying. Like, maybe like Maggie's gonna die, and maybe that's the inciting event. There's someone else running Hilltop that we haven't,
She definitely can't die because, spoiler alert, she's back.
I did not know that.
I don't know whether I should leave that in the podcast because she is coming back for this season.
Oh,
this season being season 11 as we're recording this.
Wow, how are they going to do that structurally? Like, is she going to go visit Rick on, B Island or something? And
maybe
they're gonna bust out together in some kind of cinematic event.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, that's definitely an assumption I made. She might not be around. And they agree, and Michonne, Sadiq, and the survivors head out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what's weird? Like, why? If you're not gonna take him in, but like Maggie might take in strays. We're full up at this shelter, but
yeah, I guess maybe her.
I thought she was going to offer to let them resettle the Savior complex, the sanctuary. But then when she said Hilltop, I was genuinely. But I'm like, okay, well, this is, fair time. Like, this might be some interesting stuff they're going to do.
Yeah. So then Rosita and Eugene decide to cover themselves in mud to somehow hide from the walkers, and while hiding, they overhear the walkers talking. Okay, so these are predators now. What?
No, I'm saying like they're pulling a predator. Yeah, like covering. Oh, yeah.
It's ridiculous. What are we doing here? They've never shown that mud does anything to disguise you. Like this isn't guts. This isn't zombie guts like we saw in season 1 or whatever.
I mean, river mud does fucking stink. You get a handful of it, and it's because it's like a lot of rotting stuff. So like maybe they're relying on enough other viewers to be fucking dicking around in creeks as a kid or an adult to understand that. But like, yeah.
But we don't know what the zombies are attracted to. Like if the zombies are just like supernaturally detecting brains or something, they've never established anything to say that this would work. And yet we're expected that the plot needs it to work. And this is the big problem with The Walking Dead a lot of the time is they just have a legitimately cool idea. Like I really like the introduction of this intelligent pack of walkers. The idea is very cool, and I know where they're going with this, and so like this is a very cool way to reveal it, but the way that they got into this situation and discover this information is just in my opinion, ridiculous.
See, I thought you were going to go the other way, that like, well, maybe this would work against walkers, but like if you have intelligent walkers that are capable of speech and, you know, more than just presumably smell, what the fuck? Why can they not just see that there's two muddy people in the ditch?
Sure.
Directly in the direction that they were running. It's not like they took a left at the creek and doubled back or anything. It is like flopped on the thing and then like covered themselves in mud. So yeah, it is weird. We'll have to see. Have to see.
Okay. That's the end of the episode.
Yeah. As I mentioned at the outset, we're getting real close to our midpoint of the season, in which case we're going to indulge in a little mailbag. Depending on its size, it might be a dedicated episode or it might be just appended to the end of one. But if you have any thoughts and feedback for us, please send that in to Watching Dead or Walking Dead. They both go to the same place, whatever's more convenient, at baldmove.com. And we will consider it and might read it on air.
Of course, we'll be back next week for episode 7. And until then, I'm Jim.
And I'm Aaron. See ya.